Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, did you press it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So it's for
I don't hear you.
you. Can you hear me?
Wait,
Can you
wait,
hear me?
wait, wait. It's my problem. Can you speak?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me just be more comfortable here. Okay. So um, what I what I realized over the years is because I was refusing, I was in denial of everything that I was hearing, and I was so afraid of so many things. So I was not using the right words and everything, and I was not able to adjust. Also, not my level of consciousness, but my frequency to the people that I was facing. Okay,
Yeah.
so and therefore I felt misunderstood, I felt judged, and I was probably misunderstood and judged. Okay, but
Yeah.
it was very hard, and suddenly I heard and I channeled that um, with a resonance by just being myself, being more into this freedom of being, that things will change around me. And also, so my channeling became clearer and clearer for the people that are around me. When being in France, where when you speak about emotional healing, they imagine you into your living room with drums and fires and stuff. I mean, this is like, they don't know. They feel like this is so out of this world. Now it's becoming a bit better, but we're still at the beginning compared to Koh Phangan or compared to LA, San Francisco, or those places. Oh, hold on. I need to take that call.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Let's
I
let's
do,
uh let's come back.
I do.
We
Okay, so I was saying, so basically what's coming through right now, it's I was so much into this urge and of proving things, you know, justify myself and everything. But I had only one way of saying it, and I was not checking because I was so much into this urge and I have to say it fast because if I don't say it fast, I'm not going to be heard, I'm not going to be listened to, and all those kind of things. So once I started to stop, breathe, observe what's coming through my thoughts and whatever was coming through, then I was like, okay, this is what I'm hearing. Does it go out? No, not that way. Okay, how can I rephrase it so the person sitting next to me or opposite me can actually hear me, understand? So
yeah.
it's all about this wording and also this all those way of speaking, the words we are using, the power of the word. And I don't know if you have you heard about the language of the birds.
No, but I know a lot about this from a different direction. So just in that sense, because you're asking me about this, so when we have information available for us in the space, it can come in many ways. I'd love to hear about it. But there is language of light, like so there is already in different communities different kind of available information that we can bring in and giving them a collective recognition
Yeah.
for the mass consciousness, for the we call it social body. Social body is the net that is everybody for the human experience. So all the soul beings that came to earth have, the human have few bodies, 7 bodies. One of the body is the social body that we can continue creating together for planet earth, for the human consciousness. So whatever from the potential is open for us, we can reach through different kind of minds, in different kind of communities, but it's already available for us, right? So you can get it from a different kind of understanding, and I can get so uh, definitely linguistic for me is very important.
It,
Very.
yeah, it's the collective consciousness which is basically available to all nowadays, whether you want to see it or not. And again, we're coming back to the free will. You know, do you want to see it or do you want to resist or do you want to be in denial? And that's okay. You don't have to
Yeah.
do, if you don't want to do the shadow work and stay the way you are right now, it's okay. There's no judgment. And
Only
if you
compassion.
want to do it, and if you want to go deeper, and if you want to get attached to your shadow, you know,
Yeah.
it's okay.
Only compassion. This is not up to
I
us.
was having a conversation with a friend earlier on about what's happening with the French president announcing the Vax Pass, the V Pass. And it was very interesting. She was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to convince my family and everything." I was like, "Why do you want to convince them? Maybe this is part of the path. You know, be open to how they see the experience, listen to what they say without judging, and tell them that you're not judging them and you don't want to be judged for not taking it, and that's okay. Because otherwise, if you keep your holiday during like 2 weeks on holiday with your family fighting like that, that's going to be a nightmare. Open to new experience by sharing with different point of views.
And besides, if you are, uh, if someone is still wanting to show, we have to understand, we cannot interfere in some your energies, your energy, someone else. You cannot show someone, teach. You cannot do anything. You can resonate from your own state for them to see through you what they can be reaching. So, but if you're still convincing someone, it means you're not convinced yourself.
And it's also you trying to control the other person.
Because that's what I'm saying. It's an issue, it's an unresolved issue within the oneself. If you're trying to push your agenda into someone else, okay, yeah, I can say, listen, I have a new perspective, and you can say, wow, this is what I was looking for to hear. Thank you very much. Or I hear you, but this is not for me. Thank you very much as well. But that's about it. That's about it. Then I can charge money for it, but that's about it. There is nothing I can do, and this is one of the biggest realization.
No, and she was kind of cute. She was like, oh, I hope I'm going to be able to go, on the other in South America, in 2 weeks and everything. Like, don't send that energy into the field. She's okay, I'm going to South America. But why do you
Yeah,
send that energy to the field? You're
yeah,
twisting, you're shifting something that could be your reality, and you're choosing another reality by sending an energy that is, I mean, not the one you
yeah.
want. But we haven't been taught in Europe, we haven't been taught at all. It's very different than Israel also. It's we haven't been taught to trust ourselves at all.
Oh yeah, for sure. We
Taught,
we are moving from giving our powers. We were giving our powers for decades, thousands of years.
yeah, this,
Human been giving the powers, and now we are going into sovereignty again because we are sovereign being. Yeah.
and that's why it's exactly. And in English you have this word that is amazing that I love. It's responsibility. And responsibility, and if you know a bit light language and bird language, I think it's very similar. It's the response to your ability. So you take
Or the ability to respond.
the response. Exactly. This is, and it's we haven't been taught to take our responsibility. We kept on blaming the other one. I
Yeah,
mean, the other one can be the rain, huh? Could be anything. So the
yeah.
outside. And first of all, when we blame someone, we are wasting so much energy. When we take our
Yes, but
responsibility, when we take
yeah,
our
but
responsibility, we gain energy.
yes, I know. But when you work with people, when they blame someone, you want to direct them to find where they still carry guilt.
Mhm.
So I am not to say to someone, why do you blame someone? They are not aware that they are blaming someone. They
Yeah.
are reflecting what's in them in a way that they have a chance to see it outside and understand that it's inside. So when I'm hearing someone blaming their parents or their trauma, I very empathize for them, and then I will go on a journey with them to find where they feel guilty and blame themselves. Because if you don't feel guilty, you have no blame to do.
Yeah.
So when you blame someone, it means that someone is carrying guilt. So I'm only interested by the stories, not to educate them. It's not going to work. If they are blaming someone, they will not understand that they don't need to blame unless they understand that the blaming is inside reflecting as an outside repeating scenario that's keep on coming back in order for me to understand it. But they don't have the tools to see it. Like you said, we have not given the education to see life as a mirror and the dialogue of myself with the inside through the outside. So we were not educated like this. So it's good wisdom, but to just show it as a wisdom, there is no one to blame. It cannot be clear to someone unless you touch the point that they feel guilty, and then boom, it's there. And now, once again, they have the choice. They cannot transform blame. They can let it go. They can say, it was just an experience. I let it go. I let it go. I let it go. Whatever happened. And then when I choose to let it go on the energy level, a new set of potential is open for me in details, in physicality experience, to bring an experience where I see that I repeat the blame, but I chose to give it up. And then in reality, to say, I get it now. And then it's clear
Mhm.
how you do it. And like, okay, this is how it's been done. This is how blame keeps transforming, because we think it's a universe of cause and action. And that's one of the biggest mistakes, because there is no cause and there is no action.
Agree?
But in order to see the guilt, we blame someone.
Yeah.
But the guilt is only feeding the story of guilt. So it will always blame someone, always blame. So all of a sudden, guilt is not going to disappear if I stop blaming you. Guilt will disappear when I blame you and then I say, this is how I feel guilt.
Mm. Yeah.
This is me guilty by blaming you. And I'm saying, okay, I see you and I let it go. It was just an experience. You have actually, thank yous for giving me the opportunity to see that by blaming you, I still hold on to the guilt. And that's a very sharp edge to the shadow work, very, very profound, because we don't change things. We let them go and they change.
Definitely, and it's that's why I say the blame goes along with the responsibility, because when you look at the blame and take the responsibility of the blame, then you look at yourself. And
Yeah.
also, if
Yes.
you some of the thing that I had during this one-on-one immersive coaching with one person only during those 5 days, one of the session was about how to remove the guilt. It's also about when you let go of the judgment and comparison.
Yeah.
If you compare, you into judgment. If you judge, you into your mind. But if you let go of the judgment and the comparison,
Yeah.
you obviously let go of
Yes.
the guilt. You know that
Yes. Yes.
it's just
That's what I said. You bring the energy to neutral and it has no meaning. And actually you can allow energy to get a new meaning. How about let's enjoy
so that was
instead of
like,
let's judge?
how
Yeah.
do I get rid of my guilt? How do I get rid of my guilt? I was like, get rid of the judgment, easy
Yeah.
peasy. It's just
Yeah. Easy peasy. Easy peasy, and they have to connect it um mm, to the personal story. So when someone when I start working shadow and I go, okay, tell me stories, just stories, throw to the air stories about your work, about your struggle, about your fears, about your trauma, stories. And through the stories and how they tell it to me, I know what's in them.
mm-hmm, of course.
I see the map. I see the map of what's in, and then the journey is for them to see how they're choosing to perform subconsciously, of course, and why? Because of splits in trauma, rejecting yourself, creating a hole, and adapting something familiar from the past life to the
Yeah, with
parents.
all the frozen of the emotions, frozen of the story, all those stories that we froze because we were so scared to get in touch with, and also yeah, the
Yeah.
of course transgenerational or karmic or whatever it is, but it's and also there's something that I feel like sharing is the thing that I discovered, which is this attachment of knowing, like
And what?
this
Attachment.
attachment this attachment of knowing, the attachment of having an answer. This is part of
To figure out.
to figure out the thing. You don't have to figure it out. When it's time for you to get the answer, you'll get it. It comes when it's time.
Yes.
When it's time to connect.
Perfect.
You and me today, it
Perfect.
was time to connect after what, like a year or so.
Perfect.
It's time to
Perfect.
connect. We connect,
Perfect.
and it's so into the flow. And
Yeah.
the attachment of the time, it's an
Yes.
attachment to information, the timeline.
Yes.
and
Yeah.
and the time being like vertical.
Yeah.
You don't have the
This is
attachment.
what the mind knows. This is what the mind knows. This is what the mind knows.
Yes, I still, it's just like those things. And there's something that else. I have no idea what we're going to do with this recording, but we'll see. There's something that I want to say because I see it so often. It's all those beliefs which are related to the spiritual ego, all those beliefs to, oh, but if you're on a spiritual path, therefore you have to be vegan, you have to not wear, like, I mean, vegan, like not even leather or something, and you have to be like all the time. And or if you in overjoy, that doesn't work. Or if you just, oh, and you have to do your healing today, honey, you have to meditate. But this is also an escape. If you meditate like 3 hours a day, this is
Oh,
an escape.
completely.
This is
I
just,
today,
this is
I today
this
told
is
someone she's the bitch and don't come near me because I'll fucking slap you.
exactly. And I was like, this is not because I'm on a spiritual path and I'm
She's like, oh, now I see your true face. And I'm like, what true face? Did you think I'm all light in this one? You fucking bitch. Do
so, so
you think I cannot hate you because I teach consciousness?
I'm
Fuck
not
off.
I'm not going to throw my furs that I had, for 20 years just because I'm on a spiritual path. The
Yes.
spiritual path, everybody, the
Yeah.
spiritual path is inside.
I
It's
keep saying,
inside.
my spiritual guider told me to slap you.
And this is something like, oh, but you so spiritual and everything. And before I was smoking, and you so spiritual where you were smoking. And that's true, the smoking, I agree. Okay, fine. I know it's not so good, but whatever. And it's not because you're on a spiritual path that you're not allowed to drink wine once in a while, or even maybe not every day, because then it gets to another kind of escape, avoidance, and something. But
Yeah.
to have those kind of moments where, okay, I do that, but as if you do it consciously, okay,
Yeah.
I know this is my path, and I choose to wear my fur today. I mean, not today,
Yeah.
too warm, but whatever. I choose to be silly today. I choose to be whatever today. And that's a choice, but I do it while being conscious about it. And I think that makes the entire difference, because so many people, and you saw me last time we saw each other in Koh Phangan. You saw me, I was so much into those beliefs. And thanks God I experienced those, because I managed to see, okay, this is actually not right. This is not correct. There's something wrong here. I cannot, you know, I have my free will on how I want to experience, this path. But who are they, or who are those guru, whatever, to tell me you have to be like that, you have to eat that, you have to say this or that?
Yeah.
It doesn't make
Yeah.
sense. You are the one to
Amazing.
speak for yourself. Take your
Yeah.
responsibility, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And take your responsibility doesn't mean being nice.
And this thing that I also, people asking me during sessions, yeah, but about this, it's surrendering and conditional love, blah blah blah. Does it mean we need to accept every single experience? I'm like, okay, can you rephrase, because I'm not sure I understand your question. Like, do
Yeah.
we? So, it's like, okay, let me ask you a question. Oh, can I rep you? Do you want to accept that experience? Like, no.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
unconditional love starts with yourself.
yeah,
What you love within yourself?
yeah,
Some are respecting yourself and those kind of
yeah,
things. So no. Or oh, today I want like a finger barbecue. So can I cut your
yeah,
finger? No,
yeah,
you're not going to
yeah,
accept that
yeah.
experience. I mean,
No, no, 100%. I mean,
spiritual community, go to that field.
new system immediately. The first few system of beliefs that I throw away to the garbage. I'm like telling clients, bring the rubbish bin, bring your garbage, and now put aside that we're supposed to be happy all the time. Yeah, I am happy that I'm not happy. I'm in joy on the level of, yeah. I really enjoy myself when I'm upset. I feel my fire. I have no problem in feeling my fire. So if you have a fire, don't put it off. Don't put it off. And if someone gets burned, well, stay away from you next time. It's not your responsibility. It's your fire. You didn't burn anyone. It's your fire. If someone came near to you, that's their choice, isn't it?
Yes, exactly, because they
It's
are calling you.
absolutely their
They are
choice.
calling you.
You are not. So, by the way, responsibility. Question: are you ready to take 100% responsibility on your energy? Yes or no? This is the beginning. And second, do you understand that you are not responsible to anyone except for yourself?
Yep.
Anyone. If they got hurt, if they got whatever, it is not your responsibility. You can look at yourself, and because they got hurt, you can make choices for yourself. But you're not responsible of how they experiencing you. And that is reclaiming my power back.
Yeah.
Another system of belief. Most people will not like me. They will like parts of me. Sometimes this part will
Yeah,
be
but
enough to connect us.
quite often what they will not like within you, it could be different things, but it could also be some thing that you will reveal within them that they don't want to see. It could be many things.
Many things. I don't even bother that. I just see the vibration. Wow, we're having good time. Let's continue. We're not, fuck off. Seriously. Seriously.
I know.
And when people are wanting to share unnice, pleasant, in a pleasant way, oh, this dance I love. I love this dance.
Mm-hmm.
Are you ready to receive a reflection where I feel that you're a piece of shit? And I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it. Give it to me. But if someone is like you and you, yeah, whatever. And if me, I go mental on someone and they tell me to fuck off, what choice do I have to do? What choice do I have? If someone tells me cannot cross, I cannot. What am I going to do? Bring the army? Like you said before, it's a waste of energy to be in war with someone. It's a war within yourself. You want to prove something. And I know it. It's many times come up in me. I'm not free from all that. I am aware of all that. And when I'm aware and I feel it in my body, the war, I can ask myself, okay, you gave this war 2 hours of your time. You called her a bitch, she called you this, you told her this, you did this, blah, 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 blah. Good. Do you want to continue it? Do you want to be in this war for another 20 years? Or are you done? Are you done with war inside of you? Doesn't matter the reason, doesn't matter who started, doesn't matter nothing. You are in war. You are in war. Does it serve you now? Is this what you need? Well, sometimes yes. Yeah, I'm going to war and I'm going to win. But I do it consciously because, in fact, it doesn't matter. In fact, the most important question for humanity to help themselves is it serving me still? Do I get something from it? Do I need it now? Is it serving me?
My question is, what do I have to learn from that experience? So it's very similar with just different words.
Yeah,
It's exactly the same thing.
yeah. For me, it's more, does it serve me because I am a queen and all energies are serving in service to me? But what do I learn? Again, my human wisdom and the intelligence of my soul is two different things, and I'm not responsible for the wisdom. My soul has a part called the master. The master knows the wisdom, he's doing the work for me. I cannot know, the human cannot know the wisdom of the I am. He can let this wisdom to come in a perfect moment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But it's not my job. My job is to experience and to choose, experience and choose, experience and choose. It's very simple. And if I choose war, I choose war. It's okay. Just be conscious about it. I choose war.
Yeah, it's the magic
Step out of the meaning, because the meaning of good or bad, it's from the past. It's an opinion.
it's human.
Yeah.
It's human.
War is not good. War is not good or bad. War is not good or bad. Eating meat is not good or bad.
Yeah.
You remember me preaching out vegan on your ass. However, if it serves me, if I'm on a now there is no food and my kid is hungry and I want to eat meat.
Look in Greenland, seriously, if you tell them, oh, you just go vegan, I mean, they're all going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, and
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Just like vegan, and that they're pointing out and they're judging people that are not vegan.
Yeah.
Like, go and live in Greenland. Seriously.
I stopped that long time ago, exactly because it doesn't serve me. It didn't serve me. It didn't serve me. But I do choose for myself. I do choose for my body, for my energy. It still serves me. I choose vegan every day. Every meal I choose vegan. I give it a meaning and I'm aware that I give it a meaning. It's not good or bad. It's good or bad for me. The judgment is for me, to be able to choose for me. But there is no, because if I define something in the bigger picture and it's not for me, for the world, I narrow my options. Really narrow my options, and I programming my
you know what, at the end, it's when coming back to trust, the big problem with we haven't been taught to trust ourselves, to trust our higher self, inner guidance, whatever you want to call it, whatever people are calling it. And we've been taught to trust the books, the historian, the parents, the brother, sister, the uncle, the guy at school that's got like better grades and those kind of things. But we've never
the doctor, the lawyer, the government.
We have not been taught to trust ourselves.
Yeah.
And therefore, what's happening here is when it comes with whatever food, not just like the food we eat, but also the spiritual food, we're not even able, I mean, most of the people are not able today to know what is good for them or not. So they will go, as some people will call sheep, but I don't like using that word because I think it's very ignorant and obnoxious. So I'd rather say they I'm not judging them, because some people would say, oh, but they are so stupid and everything. I'm like, no.
We should do a podcast.
They act because they have no idea. They don't have that level of consciousness. And who are you to judge? They are stupid. They just don't know. How can you know that, oh my God, I'm missing caviar? But if you never tasted caviar, how can you miss it? If you don't know about something, how can you miss it? And it's just like, how come you just like this trust? And it's, I think, one of the big thing is to learn to trust yourself, to learn to trust your intuition. And therefore you can, once you trust yourself, you can take your responsibility and keep that energy within you and light the fire. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby. That's why I told you to record it. I knew that once we start to do it, two witches, doesn't matter where you are in a fucking globus, two witches It happened to us from the first moment that we
Yes, I
met,
know.
Thomas.
Definitely, that was like spot on.
I told you you need to record. Really, we can do. Look, I don't know what you're doing now in the. Yeah, we should do podcast,
Look,
interview each other. We should do
I have
workshop
a,
shadow
I have a,
together. We can do a lot of things.
I have a channel, a wish link, a YouTube channel, so I can post that on YouTube and to say random quantum conversation or whatever it's called. We started that. We did that like we started. I started quantum conversation in January with Rainy Halley, that is from Sedona, and my friend Benoit, who's in San Francisco, and we started that. And Rainy has been wrote like few bestseller, including the Soul Family, and she was the one who told me about the walk-ins and all those kind of things. So that was we had lots of fun.
I meet a lot of walk-ins now, and it's very interesting.
So
Very interesting.
how long has been recording? Quite a long time. So should we pause the recording and
Yeah. It was quite fun. You can close it. And if
yes,
you start it again, it will do another set, right?
yeah, because it's stop recording.